Hello, I thought I'd pop on and give you a little explanation as to when you need to change the colour thread on your sewing machine. It's a question that I often get asked about how you can make your threads look different on the top of your work and the bottom of your work. And it's all about knowing whether you want to change the top thread on your machine or the bottom thread on your machine, and why and when you'd like to do it. So let me explain. I'm going to sew together two pieces of fabric. They don't go, and I've purposely made them clash. This piece here is all lovely and pink and blue, and this piece here is orange. Now I'm going to create a regular seam, so I'm going to place the two pieces of fabric right sides together, and I'm going to stitch it together. Now I'm going to just use white cotton to do this, and the reason being is that you're not going to see this seam. Let me sew. I've just sewn a regular seam along here in white thread. When I open my work back up, you can see that you can't see any of the stitching. Even if I give it a tug, it's not visible really. So it doesn't matter what colour you used. If you did see even the tiniest sneaky peek of thread, then maybe go with an orange or a blue. It doesn't matter which. Now I'm going to go and press that quickly. That's all sewn together and pressed. You can see I've got a nice neat seam. Orange on the back and our lovely fabric on the front. Now when a pattern tells you to top stitch, it normally means it wants you to do a nice neat row of stitching. It will give you a seam allowance, so it might be 1/4 of an inch, it might be 3/8, it doesn't really matter, but it wants you to stick within that seam allowance to create a nice neat edge and just finish off whatever it is you're sewing. It's normally a decorative thing, but sometimes it's used to attach. So for instance, if you're putting a patch pocket onto a coat, it might be top stitched all the way around. But when you hear the word top stitch, just think nice and neat. Look at what you want to do and think, right, I want to be looking at the main piece of my work, so the front of my work, what's going to be visible to the world. And so for me, in this instance, it's this blue piece of fabric. This is what's going to be visible, and this seam's going to be the nice neat seam I want to top stitch. So that means that the thread on the top of my machine needs to be the thread that I want to use for my top stitch. So in this instance, I'm going to use a lovely blue. When I'm lined up and ready to top stitch with my lovely blue fabric facing uppermost and my blue thread on the top of my machine, the bottom of my work is orange. So therefore I need an orange bobbin in the bottom of my machine. So that's the easiest way to think about it. Top of your work, top stitch, top thread. Bottom of your work, bottom stitch, bottom thread. So here you go, this is now top stitched. It's got a lovely line of neat blue top stitching along the main part of my work. And when I turn it over, it's got lovely orange top stitching on the bottom of my work. So I hope that's helped you demystify top stitching and what colour thread to use on what part of your machine. Always think about what's on top, and what's on the bottom, on the bottom. Thank you for watching my little top tip video. I will see you again soon. Bye!